Dr. Maria Rodriguez had been working at Memphis Children's Hospital for 20 years, but she could never figure out who the mysterious visitor they called the Sunday Angel really was. This man would come every Sunday, spend time with terminal patients, and when he left, he would leave a miraculous smile on the children's faces. The truth that emerged after Elvis's death would shock not only the hospital staff, but the entire world. If you want to hear more untold stories of Elvis, his heart-warming moments and unforgettable encounters with his fans, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. A new story from Elvis's life awaits you every day. Every Sunday morning at Memphis Children's Hospital's Pediatric Oncology Ward, the same ritual would take place. At 9 o'clock, a tall, black-haired man would quietly enter through the door, his wide-brimmed hat pulled down, wearing sunglasses, dressed in a simple suit. Receptionist Jennifer Davis had been curious about him since she first saw him. "Good morning, Mr. Thompson," Jennifer would say each time. The man would always smile the same way, nod his head slightly and say, "Good morning, Jennifer." His voice sounded gentle but equally mysterious. Dr. Maria Rodriguez had been working at the hospital since 1957 and was the chief of the oncology department. When she first saw Mr. Thompson, she sensed that he was different from other visitors. This man wasn't just coming to visit. It was as if he was coming on a mission. "Jennifer," Dr. Rodriguez had said one day, "who is this Mr. Thompson? Have you ever asked?" Jennifer had shrugged. "I haven't asked, Doctor, but he comes at the same time every week and spends time with terminal patients. The children love him very much." Dr. Rodriguez began observing Mr. Thompson with curiosity. The man would go to different children each time, talk with them for hours, sing songs, and sometimes even bring his guitar to play. The most surprising thing was that when children were with him, they seemed to forget their pain. 8-year-old Tommy Fletcher was a leukemia patient, and the chemotherapy he was undergoing had weakened him considerably. But every time Mr. Thompson came, Tommy's eyes would light up. "The Sunday Angel is here," Tommy would shout when he saw him. This name had slowly begun to spread throughout the hospital. Mr. Thompson's way of coming to the hospital was always the same. Security guard Robert Williams had begun to recognize him, but had never wondered who he was. He felt a strange respect for the man, as if he had a special mission. "He comes in a different car every time," Robert had told Dr. Rodriguez one day. "Sometimes a Cadillac, sometimes a Lincoln, sometimes just an ordinary Ford. It's like he doesn't want to draw attention." Dr. Rodriguez continued her observations. Mr. Thompson's interaction with the children was incredible. 10-year-old Sarah Coleman had become unable to speak due to a brain tumor, but when she was with Mr. Thompson, single words began to come out of her mouth. "How does he do this?" Dr. Rodriguez had asked Nurse Nancy Phillips. "I don't know, Doctor," Nancy had said. "But when children are with him, their pain seems to diminish. Some of them even act like they're getting better." One Sunday morning, Dr. Rodriguez decided to secretly observe Mr. Thompson. The man had entered 12-year-old Michael Davis's room. Michael was a terminal cancer patient, and his family was expecting the worst. When she listened through the crack in the door, she heard Mr. Thompson singing to Michael. The voice sounded familiar, but she couldn't figure out why. "Don't be cruel to a heart that's true," Mr. Thompson was singing. Dr. Rodriguez's heart raced. That voice. Dr. Rodriguez couldn't rest at home that night. Mr. Thompson's voice wouldn't leave her ears. That voice was very familiar, but she couldn't remember where she had heard it. When she went to the hospital the next day, she tried to get more information about Mr. Thompson from Nurse Jennifer Clark. "Jennifer, does Mr. Thompson ever talk about himself?" "Not really, Doctor. But once I heard him talking to little Amy about his mother. He said, 'My mother always said that sick children are the closest people to angels.'" Dr. Rodriguez fell into thought. Who could this man be? Why was he acting so secretively? That week on Sunday, Dr. Rodriguez observed Mr. Thompson more carefully. The man was sitting next to 7-year-old Lisa Morgan, singing Elvis Presley songs to her. Lisa's favorite singer is Elvis, Nurse Mary Johnson had said. Mr. Thompson seems to know his songs too. Dr. Rodriguez couldn't take her eyes off Mr. Thompson. As the man sang, his hat had slipped slightly and his hair was visible. That black hair, that voice, that way of moving. It can't be, she whispered to herself. Dr. Rodriguez listened to Elvis Presley's albums that night. The more she compared, the more her suspicion grew. Mr. Thompson's voice was almost identical to Elvis's. But could this be possible? Elvis Presley was the most famous man in the world. Why would he secretly come to Memphis Children's Hospital? Monday morning, she decided to talk to hospital director, Dr. Harrison. Doctor, Harrison, what do you know about Mr. Thompson? Dr. Harrison looked thoughtful. Actually, I know very little, Maria. He's been coming for about 15 years. We never wondered about his identity because he's very good with the children. Have you ever done an identity check? Number, why would we? The man is harmless and makes the children happy. Dr. Rodriguez was undecided. Should she share her suspicion? What if she was wrong? Throughout that week, she observed Mr. Thompson more carefully. The man's gestures and expressions, his way of speaking, his approach to children. Everything reminded her of Elvis Presley. Friday, she made her decision. She had to solve this mystery. Sunday morning, Dr. Rodriguez came to the hospital early. She would wait for Mr. Thompson. At 9 o'clock, the man came as usual, but this time Dr. Rodriguez was observing him more closely. Mr. Thompson entered 9-year-old David Wilson's room. David was a bone cancer patient and was in great pain. Dr. Rodriguez waited in the corridor and listened carefully. "Hello, David," said Mr. Thompson. "How are you feeling today?" "I'm in a lot of pain," David replied. "Guess what we're going to do? I'm going to sing you a special song." Mr. Thompson took out his guitar and began singing "Love Me Tender." Dr. Rodriguez secretly looked through the crack in the door. As the man sang, his hat had slipped completely. His profile was fully visible. At that moment, Dr. Rodriguez's breath caught. This man was Elvis Presley. As Dr. Rodriguez tried to process what she saw, David's voice came, "Elvis Presley sings this song too." Mr. Thompson smiled. "Yes, it's a beautiful song. Elvis is a good singer." "I wish I could meet him," said David. Mr. Thompson's eyes filled with tears. "Maybe someday you will, son." Dr. Rodriguez's suspicion had become certainty. This man was really Elvis Presley. But why was he coming secretly? Why was he hiding his identity? That day, Elvis, he was no longer Mr. Thompson for Dr. Rodriguez, visited 5 different children. He spent hours with each one, sang to them, told them stories, played games with them. Finally, he entered 6-year-old Emma Foster's room. Emma was a child with a congenital heart condition and was going to have surgery soon. "Hello, beautiful girl," Elvis said to Emma. "Sunday angel," Emma shouted. "You came to visit me again." Elvis sat next to Emma. "Of course I came. You're my special friend." Dr. Rodriguez couldn't hold back the tears in her eyes. This intimate bond Elvis had with the children was truly mesmerizing. When Dr. Rodriguez went home that evening, her mind was confused. Elvis Presley had been secretly coming to the hospital for 15 years. Why? The next day, she began researching. She read news about Elvis's charity work. The man was indeed known to be very generous, but hospital visits weren't mentioned anywhere. She decided to talk to Nurse Nancy Phillips. "Nancy, what do you think about Mr. Thompson?" Nancy's eyes lit up. He's a wonderful person, Doctor. When children are with him, their pain seems to diminish. I wish we knew who he was. Doesn't he ever seem familiar to you? Nancy thought. Actually, sometimes his voice sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Dr. Rodriguez understood that she couldn't share her secret with anyone. This was Elvis's choice, and should be respected. Throughout that week, she continued observing Elvis. The man took special interest in each child. He remembered their names, knew about their illnesses, kept in mind what each one liked. One day, painful screams were coming from 11-year-old Robert Chen's room. The child was suffering greatly from chemotherapy side effects. Elvis immediately went to Robert's side and held his hand. "I know it hurts, son, but you must be strong." "I can't stand it." Robert was crying. Elvis took out his guitar and began singing a gentle song. The magical effect of music quickly calmed Robert down. One day, Dr. Rodriguez decided to gather courage and talk to Elvis. She approached as Elvis was leaving Emma Foster's room. "Mr. Thompson, could I speak with you?" Elvis was surprised but smiled politely. "Of course, Doctor." They went to a quiet corner. "You're really Elvis Presley, aren't you?" Dr. Rodriguez asked. Elvis's face tensed. He remained silent for a moment, then took a deep breath. "Is this a problem for you, Doctor?" "No, I'm just curious." "Why do you come secretly?" Elvis's eyes filled with tears. "Because, Doctor, if I reveal my identity, these children will be happy for my fame, not for my songs. I want to know that they love me, not Elvis Presley." Dr. Rodriguez's heart tightened. What a pure thought this was. "Also," Elvis continued, "if the media comes here, the hospital's peace will be disturbed. These children need tranquility." "But why do you do this?" Elvis remained silent for a long time. "Because, Doctor, once I was also a sick child. My mother Gladys stayed with me in the hospital for days. During those days, if someone had come and sung to me, how happy I would have been." Elvis continued telling his story. "When I was little, I used to get very sick. My mother would always stay by my side. One day she told me, 'Elvis, if you ever become famous, don't forget sick children. They are angels, and they need your love.'" Dr. Rodriguez's eyes watered. "When my mother died, I made her a promise. I told her I would never forget sick children. These visits are the fulfillment of that promise. But why doesn't anyone know?" "Because real kindness is kindness done in secret, Doctor. I come to make these children happy, not to show off in the media." Dr. Rodriguez promised to keep Elvis's secret. This truth was too sacred to share. "Thank you, Doctor. These children are very special to me." From that day on, Dr. Rodriguez began to see Elvis's hospital visits with completely different eyes. This wasn't just charity. This was the sacred duty of a son keeping his mother's word. In July 1977, Elvis came to the hospital for the last time. He looked very tired that day, but he had come to be with the children. Emma Foster's surgery had been successful, and she was recovering. "Sunday Angel, my surgery went well," Emma shouted. Elvis hugged her. "I knew you were a strong girl." That day he visited each child longer. It was as if he was saying goodbye to them. Finally, he entered David Wilson's room. David's condition had worsened. "David, you must stay strong, okay?" "Sunday Angel, will you always be with me?" Elvis squeezed David's hand. "I will always be in your heart, son." That day, as Elvis left the hospital, he looked at Dr. Rodriguez and smiled. 'Twas as if he was saying, "Thank you." On August 16th, 1977, the news of Elvis Presley's death shook the entire world. When Dr. Rodriguez received the news, she was overwhelmed with tears. The children in the hospital were asking why the Sunday Angel wasn't coming. After Elvis's death, his lawyers called the hospital. There was a large amount of money donated to the hospital in Elvis's will. Also, records of his secret visits over 15 years emerged. Dr. Rodriguez could now reveal the truth. When the hospital staff and children's families learned Elvis's identity, they couldn't believe it. "Our Sunday angel was Elvis Presley," said Nurse Jennifer Clark through tears. Tommy Fletcher's mother, Linda, said, "My son spent time with Elvis Presley for 3 years and never knew." Hospital director Dr. Harrison said, "Instead of telling us that our children were friends with someone world famous, Elvis chose to make them feel like they were friends with an ordinary person." After Elvis's death, there were major changes at the hospital. A new pediatric oncology ward was opened with the money Elvis donated. They named it Gladys Presley Children's Ward, in honor of Elvis's mother. Dr. Rodriguez worked in this ward until her retirement and told Elvis's story to new doctors and nurses who came. Elvis's never-published photographs were hung in the hospital. Photographs of those intimate moments taken with children. David Wilson's family never forgot the time Elvis spent with them. David recovered and became a musician when he grew up. "The Sunday angel taught me the healing power of music," he would say. Emma Foster is now in her 50s and is a pediatric nurse. "The love Elvis showed me in my childhood, I now show to sick children," she says. Elvis Presley's secret hospital visits show what true greatness is. Being world famous, selling millions of albums, giving big concerts. These made Elvis famous. But what made him legendary was never forgetting sick children. Going to the hospital every Sunday morning for 15 years, never missing, never telling anyone, never informing the media. This shows the true depth of Elvis's character. Gladys Presley's words had truly guided her son in the right direction. "Don't forget sick children, Elvis. They are angels." Elvis didn't just remember these words, he lived them. He truly became an angel for those children. The Sunday Angel. This story teaches us that true greatness lies in the kindness we do when no one is watching. Elvis's hospital visits prove that he was not just an artist, but also a person with a big heart. Today, Elvis's spirit still lives at Memphis Children's Hospital. As children recover, they listen to Elvis's songs and learn the story of the Sunday Angel. And Elvis's words still echo, "Real kindness is kindness done in secret."